Rapiwa Madzena. Thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it. So let's start with Tiger Brands. Earnings expected to be lower again.
Absolutely. I think we thought this is obviously a huge impact by that listeriosis that we saw this. So the company is still reeling from that. They are not getting revenue from that enterprise brand. The good news, though, for the company is that they have reopened operations in Bulukwan and Germiston, and they will keep us posted about Pretoria. So they are expecting earnings to be about 25 to 30% lower, which is a little bit better because initially the indication was that earnings would be lower by between 21 and 37%. But markets weren't too happy. They lost a couple of gains during the day, but they gained those at the end of the day, closing higher by 0.27%. So we really just continue to watch that company and really see what's going to happen when and if it reintroduces that cold meat business of it, which is a huge revenue maker for Tiger Brands.
Yeah, that's an interesting one to watch, especially how the company picks up the pieces afterwards. Let's move on to Tongaat Hulett, expecting to post a half-year loss.
Absolutely. So Tongaat Hulett, I think it's just riddled with issues. I mean, if it wasn't the drought, it's now the oversupply of sugar, which has put major issues on the sugar price. So very low sugar price, all the competitors are in there. So Tongaat is really finding it hard to be dealing in that particular market space. So that they've indicated that their half-year loss will be down about 74 cents headline earnings per share. So that's not good. As you said, it left a little bit of a bitter taste in the mouth of investors there. They've also indicated that another major another cause there is obviously the petrol price increase that we've seen, as well as the volatility in the rand, which has increased the cost of production as well as the cost of sales. So that's a company that will continue to look at. Analysts are expecting the outlook to remain a little bit dim given the current economic climate.
And then, of course, Goldfields has cut production targets due to labor issues. What's going on there?
No, absolutely. I mean, and this is one of my favorite companies to watch because it's South Deep Operations. It's the second biggest gold mine in the world. And it has a mine of life for about 70 years. The problem is that it hasn't been able to mine those benefits for about a decade. They've done really badly for the past 10 years, and now it's going to continue. The outlook is not looking good, and this time it's that scuffle that they continue to have with the NUM. So they are cutting about 1,000 jobs, just over 1,000 jobs of permanent workers and over about 300 of contractors, and the NUM says it's just too much in the current economic climate. So the miners have been striking since last week Friday, and the chief executive is anticipating the strike to go on for the rest of the year, meaning that production is not going to be happening at South Deep. So they've revised down the kilograms to about 48,000 kilograms for the third and the fourth quarter, which is not a good thing. But it's not all bad news because their international operations are bringing in that revenue. Third quarter production came in very strong, so they are being held by those international operations.
I'm very surprised we haven't actually heard about these miners protesting just yet. It's very low key.
It's very low key, but apparently there is a little bit of animosity with the ones that are choosing to work. So there's been some incidents of intimidation, blocking the entrance to the mine for those miners that want to work. There are miners that have to keep some of the operations going in terms of pumping water and making sure that all the gold that's mined is being transported. So it has been in the news, but it's not getting the clout that it's getting. But I anticipate that it will grow. I mean, these are over 3,000 miners that are striking at the moment. So I think it's going to be getting a little bit of traction in the coming weeks.
All right. Thanks so much for that. Appreciate it. Rapiwa Madzena.